I'm here back with another Epic 7 video, and today we're going over the update for January 19th in Epic 7, starting off with Beehoo. Yes, they finally are dropping, I guess, one of the newest units from the latest story, Beehoo, right? Fire Mage. I think we'll probably do like a dedicated video looking at Beehoo's kit, but just overall kind of looks okay. Not anything really impressive, you know, because of the blue, definitely a fire unit that's needed. He is dropping with Sphere of Inferno, which after using a non-attack skill increases combat readiness by 20%. And after the next attack, burns the target for 2 turns. So yeah, you might have guessed it. He synergizes well with burns, right? So we'll see how that kind of plays out in the current meta. You know, carrot, right? Carrot resurgence, anyone, right? But this artifact would probably have to be used on a unit that has non-attack skills, right? Because they're not attack skills. But you know, he does seem to really synergize well with Silverblade Armintha, right? Carrot, units that have burn. So along with that, 4-star ML Furious is also dropping. Peacemaker Furious, he is going to be a ranger, and you know, he looks kind of cool. He looks like Godmother though. Is it me, or is this just Godmother with a cape? Right? I don't know. I think maybe it's just me. But they will be globally banned until the end of the I think this is, yeah, until the end of the World Arena Triumph season, which is going to be on February 4th. So that is important because we are getting a preview of that new Little Queen Charlotte skin, which we'll take a look at here. So you'll see World Arena is ending on February 4th. It is a Saturday, so again, try to plan accordingly. As of now, you have a little bit, let's see, actually you have 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks as of this recording, to climb up to at least master, to pick up her skin, right? And so here she is, the new Little Queen Charlotte skin. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. It kind of reminds me of Aiden, right? Savior Aiden's like light version, or Aiden's light version. That's kind of what this reminds me of. But I think we have to wait and see, right? Elegant Excursion. So I mean, it does look more queeny, like more befitting of a queen, right? So I mean, we'll see how it looks like in game, right? It'll probably be really nice. We're also getting 2 new EEs, Krau and Sharun. We are getting those EEs for Krau. He's getting 10 speed EE, which is not bad. He can definitely use, he can definitely be faster, that's for sure, especially for being a knight. Nothing too crazy here on his skills. I think maybe the best one could be the increased speed of his skill 2. So he increases speed of the caster for 2 turns when using charge. So when he puts up the defense buff, he'll get increased speed. Skill number 3 here, if he defeats an enemy with his horse, he decreases the cooldown of it by 2 turns. I think that one's probably going to be his best in slot, depending on how you're playing him. I mean, he's already getting 10 speed, right? And then he's getting a speed buff, which increases speed by 30%, I believe. So, I mean, I think it'll be between his skill 2, skill 3, probably skill 3. I think in GBG, this is going to be way more value because you're going to be able to turn cycle a lot faster with the horse and be able to hopefully horse twice before he dies, right? Sharun, she's getting effectiveness EE. I don't think she needs effectiveness, right? She needs something else. They could have given her HP. They could have given her speed, right? Effect resistance. I mean, she is a soul weaver, right? But skill number 2, Trust Me, with just Trust Me's effect, increases combat range with the caster by an additional 5%, increases bear strength by 15%, and decreases cooldown of May You Perish by 1 turn. So her skill number 3. I think probably her skill number 3, right? Because she never... So when I tested her out, and I've played with her since then, she doesn't cycle her S3 fast enough. So maybe this reducing it by 1 turn will help, but I don't know. I don't think the skills are going to do too much to kind of push her up, but we are getting 5 new 3-star heroes. It's about time that they drop these. People were asking for these units and they finally dropped them. So we'll probably do like a deeper dive video looking at their kits on whether or not they're going to be prevalent in the meta. But we are getting Junie, which is a fire warrior, Lilka, which is a grass ranger. I'm kind of excited for Lilka. I think she's probably the coolest looking. Talaz is your most basic NPC looking dude, okay? Talaz, sure, why not? Okay, moving on here. We got Talia. I think this is another unit that a lot of people wanted. She is going to be the ML 3-star, right? The light thief here that they're going to be dropping. So we'll see. We'll see how these play out. Suthan, husbando lovers, right? We're getting a lot of husbandos, right? DDR. We got Suthan. We got Beehoo. Mage, dark mage here, right? Shadow elf commander. So we'll see exactly, you know, how they're going to be. I looked at their kits just very briefly and they don't really seem too great. Like I think the previous 3-stars that we had, like Camilla in them, probably had better kits or more unique kits, I should say. So we are getting a revamp to the side story. It looks like they are adjusting the difficulty of episode 2, mainly the trust missions. So the amount of AP that you need to unlock the trust missions and awaken Aiden in episode 4 are going to be lowered. It's quite a bit. It's almost by half. Some cases it's even more than half. So it's gonna make this clearing these episodes a lot easier, especially for new players. So I think this is a plus, right? Unrecorded history, they talked about this. They're going to be merging all of the unrecorded history stages into one stage, or I guess like one little area. And you're going to be able to access all of the different stages in just one location. So they're going to merge everything. And I'm fine with this, you know, having to go through like guild missions to find where everything was and have to go through that button to go back. And if you exit it out because you were doing a mission, right, it's just a big hassle. So I kind of like that change. Hero side story improvement. So now you're actually going to be able to play through the hero side story. So each of them have their own specific side story. So now you're going to actually be able to go through them. I believe every 8 days, you can go to the next hero side story and play through it. So you'll be able to get to see some background about them. But the cool thing about it is that if you decide to pick up that unit, you're going to get a hero specific banner for whatever the side story character is. So here you're playing through the Vildred side story. So you can select a drop rate up for Vildred, which I think is kind of cool. This is just giving you another opportunity. Now, keep in mind, this still is going to require Covenant bookmarks. You know, your regular summon resources is not free. I mean, that'd be too generous, right, to give us a free 5-star, but I think it's fine, especially if you really want to tunnel one of those units on the side story. So, you know, if you're definitely interested in the side stories, I highly encourage you to take a look at them. I think some of the older ones were better than the newer ones. I feel like some of the newer ones, they just kind of rush through it. It's like 2 story stages and then everything else is just battling, and the other ones actually gave you a bit more background. So we're getting drop rate ups for Eda here with Twilight Calamity, and then we're also getting Ken and Samsara prayer beads. So the prayer beads did get a buff. Eda's been, I guess, Eda is still a unit I use in my cleave teams in regular arena and GVG. So still a very strong unit. Ken, nowhere to be found except for that that mythical one-shot Wyvern 13 team. But other than that, yeah, not worth pulling. We are getting Aria, so rerun Aria on January 26th. So if that's a unit that maybe you skipped on, you want to take a shot at, she'll be here along with Beehoo and Sphere of Inferno. So both of those are going to be dropping starting on the 26th. So keep in mind that we are getting a new Mystic rotation on the 26th as well. We're getting LQC Little Queen Charlotte, Conquer Lilius, Remnant Violet, and Arbiter Mildred. So it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one. Along with them, we are getting Peacemaker Furious. So if you're skipping on DDR, which is getting a buff, which we'll talk about here in just a bit, you know, you might be pulling on Peacemaker Furious if you already have those other ML units. But I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how he plays out. We are going to get a coin shop rotation for the RGBs and the MLs. We're getting Archdemon Shadow again, and then Ruel of Light and Designer a little bit for the ML rotations. Krau, Flan, and Basar for the RGB ones. So we did mention buffs, right? We mentioned buffs, which we're going to talk about here. And I don't know about the buffs. All right, so we talked about Death Dealer Ray buffs. So they are insta buffing him because he is the worst unit to have been released since probably pre-buff Hengai. Okay, they took forever to buff him, but Death Dealer Ray instantly, right? Just a little bit, just as soon as he's out, nobody plays with him, gets buffed, instant buff. So let's take a look to see what they did. So before his anatomical mutation here, increases combat readiness of all allies by 20% and increases effectiveness for 2 turns. Grants pestilence to all allies except for the caster for 2 turns. So this gives pestilence to everyone except for the caster, right? And then pestilence after attacking on the target's turn inflicts venom for 2 turns. This effect is not activated by counterattack, dual attack, or extra. So cannot be activated by like extra attacks, dual attacks, counterattacks, right? Now he's grants increased effectiveness and pestilence to all allies for 2 turns. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%. So getting a 50% CR push and giving pestilence to all allies for 2 turns. So they did remove the effect is not activated by a counterattack, dual attack, or extra attack. I mean, so like Alencia is going to be able to hit you with 2 of them, right? Something like that. Bellion is even more broken with him now, right? Because of the extra attacks. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to make him any better though, right? Because I still don't think he provides enough. But that's going to be it for me. Let me know your thoughts about this week's update. We are getting a lot, mainly those 4 stars, right? Or those 3 stars. Keep in mind they are 3 stars. So they are going to be in the regular Covenant pool. But if you do plan on pulling for them, let me know which one you want the most in the comment section below. Like always, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hey, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.